Well, hello, Leo. This is your monthly forecast for the month of June 2016. Thank you for tuning in. Briefly, I just wanted to remind you guys that this is a general reading, a general horoscope, if you will, for people who have their sun, moon, or rising / ascendant sign in the sign of Leo. But if you would like anything that's more personally catered to you and that's all about you, honey, shoot me an email. My email address is in the description box, and I will let you know how to schedule and pay for a reading with moi. Now on to your general reading. All right, Leos, first of all, do not mind my hair, okay? I know Leos pay close attention to hair, and mine is like shot today, okay? That's because astrology is my passion, but I do have a regular job that I don't care how I look when I go there, believe it or not. Anyway, let's get to the important stuff. So the big focuses for you this month are going to be on your friendships and your groups that you belong to, any organizations you belong to, and also you're going to feel a little bit more secluded towards the end of the month. You're going to feel a little bit more like introverted. You know, believe it or not, my shiny Leos, you guys are going to be like hiding out from the world a little bit, at least in the mind. Now, let me break it down and explain to you why. So the sign of Gemini is your 11th house, Leo. That's because Gemini is 11 signs away from you guys if you go in order on the zodiac wheel. So what that means is during Gemini season, there's a focus on 11th house matters, which, as I mentioned, are your groups of friends, the organizations you belong to. It also, in like ancient studies, means like your goals that you have, like achieving some high goals that maybe while the energy was in your 10th house, which is all about career and achievement, whatever comes after that, which is the 11th house, is all about like actually achieving those goals, the rewards, reaping the rewards for those goals. So if you were working very hard during Taurus season, which is your 10th house, which is your career sector, then you could be reaping the rewards right now. But yeah, on a more mundane level, friendships, you could really be having an emphasis on friendships because the sun is there. The sun is there in Gemini until the 20th of June. Now, wherever the sun is, it's like it shines a flashlight in that area. It brings things to light, brings things to your attention. So you could be actually the attention and focus of your friends, but also you could be putting more attention and focus on them or on groups, especially online groups. Leos, you guys are generally speaking about the energy of Leo. You guys are usually pretty showy people. You like to show off. If your life is going great and you feel fabulous and you look fabulous, you put that all over your social media. Well, during Gemini season, you'll want to be like that a lot more, my lions. And even if you don't make like a huge effort to put yourself out there, people are going to be contacting you, like wanting to network or wanting to talk or wanting to chat. Or your friends in general might just be like, hey, Leo, let's go out, let's hang out, let's go shopping, let's do something, let's do something fun. So that is the energy of the sun in the 11th house. Now, there's going to be a new moon at 14 degrees Gemini on June 4th, and this is also in your 11th house. So a brand new beginning is going to be happening because the sun and the moon come together in the same sign and the same degree. That's what makes a new moon. So it clears the path of old to bring about new. Now, this could be in regards to a friendship. Maybe you have a friendship that is no longer serving you in a positive way that you just let go of and say, peace, honey, I don't need your negativity. Okay, I want to shine bright like the sun, and you are dulling my shine, girlfriend, so you need to step out of my circle and out of my life. So it could be something like that. It could just be that you meet a new friend without having to get rid of any old ones. Maybe you join a new group, a new Facebook group on the mundane level, or maybe like any type of cause that you fight for the rights for, because Leos are fiery fighters. I love that about you guys. You have that fiery spirit that you will defend people that you care about or a cause that you care about. So a great time to join a new cause is another example of what can happen during a new moon in the 11th house. Now, there are some kind of stressful aspects to this new moon. I will be completely honest. There's a good aspect, which is it's in conjunction with Venus. So Venus is here along with the sun and the moon, like, yay, some good Venusian fun to be had this month, with groups and friends and everything. But it's also in opposition to Saturn in your 5th house. So Saturn in your 5th house is like very serious. Saturn sitting in your fifth house, it does kind of dull the shine of Leos a little bit, to be honest, because the fifth house is like the same energy as Leo. Because on the regular zodiac wheel, just going in order of the signs, you guys are the fifth sign. So fifth house, fifth sign, same energy. With Saturn there, he's like that old man that does not want you to go out and play, Leo. So you might be feeling like, yay, I've got all this energy. I've got my friends hitting me up. I've got groups that want me to join, and I just want to jump out there and do it. And then Saturn is down there saying, hold up, slow your roll, Leo. You need to think about what you're doing first. Do you really want to join this group? Is it true to you? Is this friend, this new friend that you met, or new love interest that you met within a group? Because Venus can make you meet a new love interest, as well in whatever area she's transiting. Is this new love interest someone that's actually good for you, or is this somebody that you want to have superficial fun with? So those are some questions that Saturn in opposition to this new moon will be asking. Now it also has some difficult aspects, again, to be honest, to Jupiter and Neptune. It's making a square. Jupiter is in your second house of earned income and material possessions, like acquiring them. And also Neptune is in your eighth house of money that you don't earn from working, but like supplementary income, and also intimacy, deep intimacy. And so this can be some energies that's a little bit blocking to whatever it is that you want to jump out there and do within groups. It may have to do with something financial as well. So it may be challenging you, like, Jupiter wants you to just go and like jump and just fly, like, woo, this is a good idea. Yeah, let's just roll with it. Let's fly with it. And then Neptune also is like compassion and spirituality and just kind of being lost in things. So be careful with, I would say around this time, do not, like this whole month, do not let any friends borrow money. Not a good time to mix business and friendship. It's a little bit of a shaky time for that. So just be mindful of that. Be mindful of the energy. It can be, like I said, a good time for like enjoying like things on a more mundane level, but yeah, taking like big business risks with friends or groups or anything like that can be kind of risky, so just keep that in mind, Leo. So as I mentioned, Venus is going to be in your 11th house in Gemini. She's going to be hanging out there until the 17th. And also, as I mentioned, this can mean a new love interest that you can meet within a group. But like I said, with that new moon, those aspects might be telling you need to watch out, slow your roll, and not jump into anything too quickly. But great time to enjoy like doing Venusian things with your friends though. Like maybe going shopping, but don't go too far with it because of the square aspect to Jupiter and Neptune in your money houses. Be careful with shopping as well. But still, set aside money to enjoy yourself without disrupting your finances. So Mercury joins Venus and the Sun in Gemini in your 11th house on the 12th of June. So this is Mercury out of shadow period. He came out of shadow around the 5th of June, which is awesome because Mercury retrograde, it affects us all. It makes us all have these backwards brain things that happen, but some good can come out of it too, like some great memories and things like that. So I hope that's how Mercury retrograde went for you guys. But now that's all over. Mercury's in Gemini, chatty, witty, funny Gemini in your 11th house of friends. So great time to enjoy like playing pranks on friends or just chatting with friends, talking with friends. Just great time for friends or talking to people in groups, meeting new people, networking with people. Leo, if you are a person who has your own business, this is a great time to network with people. But like I said, I'm going to keep telling you, be careful this month though with business commitments, okay? Business commitments, financial business commitments. Be very careful with those. But yes, networking is huge for you this month, so really take advantage of that. So as I said in the beginning, you are going to go into a period of time where you may feel a little bit more like isolated or introverted, or a time of deep retrospect, because the energy is going to shift to your 12th house in Cancer. Now Cancer is a water sign. The 12th house is a house that is a water energy house too. It's the same energy as the sign of Pisces. Now with water energy, Pisces is like an ocean, a very deep, vast ocean that has a lot of stuff it carries with it, So this is, when you think of that analogy to emotions, this is very deep emotions. And your ruling planet, the sun, it loves to just be so bright and shiny and yellow, like, hey, I'm here, everybody, right? Well, when it goes down into that deep ocean of the 12th house, it's like it sinks down there and then it fizzles and then it's like floating there like, oh, I don't know what to do. Someone save me. This is like, this water is so deep and I can't shine and I can't really do much. So you really feel like you're just like underwater. Just be very careful not to drown in emotions and display some drama because of that, which unfortunately Leos are famous for. Don't deny it, Leo. Okay, I know how you guys are. You can display some drama scenes if you are emotional. So just try to refrain from that too much. But yeah, it is an emotional time. So maybe keeping to yourself a little bit more is going to be difficult for you, but it may be necessary. That way you can reflect back on things, because the 12th house is also, it's the last house on the zodiac wheel as far as the houses, the last house on the wheel before things start again with the first house. So thinking about that, this could be a time where it's like an end to something, okay? And I'm not meaning you're gonna die, Leos. Oh my gosh, don't freak out. You're not gonna die. That's not what I'm saying. I mean, it's like the end of a cycle, like the end of a 12-month cycle for you guys, because your birthdays are coming up in July. This is when the energy shifts into your first house and the spotlight is on you. But before that, it's time to reflect back on the last year and maybe just on life in general and see where you are, see where you're at. Maybe make some plans. Just keep to yourself, make some plans and some goals for the next year of what you want to happen. But this is just a time of deep retrospect and deep introspect. It can also be a time to heal the past, heal past pains in some sort of way. Anything that's been hidden back in the subconscious may come out during this time once Mercury moves in there, which is not until the 29th, but that's just a sneak preview of what's going to be going on for you as far as Mercury and your communication, your thinking, your logic. For the first part of July, it'll be there. Venus will also be there in the sign of Cancer in your 12th house, starting with the 12th. So this is how you enjoy yourself, how you enjoy your free time, how you enjoy the pleasures of the five senses. Now, Venus in the 12th can mean a few things. I'll just give a few examples, but it actually can mean many things, okay? But just a couple of examples are, you can enjoy art, like really divine, fine arts, like music, okay? But I mean like staying home by yourself, listening to music. Throw on your CDs, your records. I'm old school, so that's what I think about. But throw on your MP3s. That's even old school now. Throw on Spotify. There we go. Spotify, Pandora, iTunes, any of that stuff. When you're by yourself and play music, you may be tempted to cry if some love songs come on. I'm just warning you, Leo. But listen to music. Dive into some arts, like go to art exhibits, art shows, art events. Things like that can be how you may want to enjoy yourself a little bit more at this time. And I know my Leos, you may be feeling a little bit more like being in isolation, but maybe dancing, like getting involved in dance, like go out dancing if you feel like getting out there still. Just anything involving dance and art is great for enjoyment during this time. Now, when it comes to relationships, Venus in the 12th can mean a few things. Number one, maybe you could have met someone previously while Venus was in the 11th through friends, and then it's like now you want to be on the low with starting a relationship with somebody. That means you don't want to be as showy about them right now. You just kind of are feeling things out and spending time alone with them, just you and them in seclusion and isolation. Or it can mean you really start fantasizing about someone that you cannot have. Now, this can get people in trouble, Venus in the 12th house. I am just letting you know. People can start wanting somebody that's already taken, that's married, that's like maybe even a long distance away. Maybe you meet somebody on the internet, and then when Venus is in the 12th, you're like, oh, you're like longing for them. They're at a long distance away, far away, and you just really wish you could be with them. And you daydream about them, you think about them, but they're so far from reach. That's Venus in the 12th for you. Or if you are in a relationship, this could be a great time to just spend time alone with your significant other. Enjoy watching some movies. The 12th house rules that as well. And also maybe just escape into a fantasy world all your own together. Mars is in the sign of Scorpio this whole month. Retrograde up until the 29th. He stops retrograding, goes direct at 23 degrees Scorpio on June 29th. But Mars retrograde is happening for you in your 4th house of home and family. So these are a couple of things that I can tell you with Mars in the 4th, what could be happening. Oh, look at my hair. Oh my gosh. Anyway, Mars in the 4th, Avoid conflicts with family members, especially initiating the conflict, because Mars retrograde means that things can just boomerang back to you if you throw them out there at other people. Be mindful of that. Fixing things around the home. Some problems and issues that you may have had within your home, like your physical home environment, previously when Mars was in Scorpio earlier this year, maybe they come back up again and need to be fixed. You know, that could be something that comes up. Maybe family members could start acting out in some sort of irrational way, because Mars is the god of war. He's like the aggression planet, the angry planet at times, you know, but he's also action and initiative. So your action and initiative that you want to take, you know, because you are a fiery person, and Mars in Scorpio is very passionate, very determined. But backwards energy is like frustration, okay? So you may get angry and frustrated with family a little bit easier during this time. Be very, very careful with that. But yeah, going back over some things that may have needed to be fixed again, whether it's within your physical home or your family life, can definitely come up during this Mars retrograde. Now, just a little peek into the future again. Mars will be in the sign of Scorpio until August 2nd, okay? But only this month he's retrograde still. So just ride the waves, Leo. Don't cause any drama. Don't freak out. And you will be all right during that intense Mars transit. To add to the intensity of the month, as if you don't have enough already, Leo, right? There's a full moon in Sagittarius on the 20th of June. This is in your 5th house. This is at 29 degrees Sagittarius, which is the very last degree, a very important degree, because it's all about like the last point of like potency of the Sagittarius energy before it shifts into the next sign at 0 degrees of Capricorn. So also this is an important full moon, because last month in May we had a full moon in Sagittarius at 1 degree, and it was in conjunction with Mars in your 5th house. Now there's a few things that could have happened with you Leos during that full moon last month in Sag. Since it's conjunct Mars, which is anger and aggression and everything, you could have had, you know, some lashings out by your kids or towards your kids, because the 5th house rules children. They could have been acting unruly, and you finally had to just take charge and take discipline, you know, and really step in and say, hey, you need to cut that mess, okay? Like, I am a fun parent, I love you, but I am tired of the way you've been acting and misbehaving. So you may have had to step up and do something like that. Or the 5th house also rules romantic, casual dating partners. So you could have had a passionate experience with a romantic partner, which is either positive or negative. It could have been a fight. It could have been just a very passionate time, you know, in a good way that you enjoy. Now, whatever was happening last month during that full moon is being completed with this full moon on the 20th. So just keep in mind whatever happened, you know, during that time. It's like, okay, now you come to a final decision, a final conclusion. It could be about your kids, your romantic partnerships, your business that you created, if you are creating a business right now, which a lot of Leos may be, with Saturn making you work hard in that 5th house. Or it could be a conclusion with a creative project that you're working on. Leos are very creative people, so, you know, this can be a final conclusion with that. It can mean an ending, yes, an ending to something, but conclusion in general with the full moon. Lastly, to end this horoscope, I know it's long, but there's so much going on, Leo. I want to tell you about Chiron and Neptune, both in Pisces, going retrograde in your 8th house. Chiron goes retrograde on the 27th of June, and Neptune goes retrograde on the 13th of June. So what does this mean for you guys? Well, Chiron and Neptune are both planets of like the victim and pain, and also healing and compassion at the same time. They're both about that. So a few things could be happening to my Leos right now while Chiron and Neptune are in your 8th house. You can attract needy people, people that have drug problems, people that have serious psychological problems, mental problems, problems with their sexual life, problems with intimacy, problems, just problems. You can attract so many of those people right now with those planets in your 8th house. You can also attract those issues, just being honest, because Neptune is a planet of healing by being in connection with the divine, connection with God, connection with spirit, whatever you believe in. You can heal from those things. And Chiron is the wounded healer. It's where you may suffer a wound and be hurt in life, but also you can turn around and heal yourself and other people around you, because you know what it's like to suffer in that area. So an 8th house matters. This can be like anything that I mentioned previously, or divorce, or yeah, intimacy issues or deep psychological issues. You can heal from those things. Now, with Neptune and Chiron going backwards, it could bring some issues back up again from the past, but you do have an opportunity to go over them again and bring them up to finally heal from them, Leo. All right, so that was it for your June forecast. I really hope it was insightful for you in any kind of way. I hope you enjoyed it. And please subscribe if you would like to continue to receive monthly free general horoscopes from me. And if you would like a personalized reading of any kind, please shoot me an email and I would be so happy to do so for you. All right, Leos, well, take care of yourselves this month. I will see you next month in July for your birthday month. Ooh, it's time to party. All right, love you guys. Mwah. Peace.